Hey everybody, welcome back to the Overwatch Project. Today I want to talk to you about how humans are manipulated with contradictory information, which is something that shouldn't be, but is. Doesn't even make any sense because it's literally what I'm saying is that people, not everyone, there's a 20-30% of the population, I think, that are immune to it somewhat to different degrees. But most people, as we call them sheeple or NPCs or whatever they are controlled very easily with this technique. And so basically, how it works is you get information from somebody. And this works especially if the person or people giving you the information supposedly alleged to have some kind of authority over other people. So you see this a lot in politics. You see this a lot in trying to control information via what they want to label mainstream news and authoritative sources. I'm using air quotes even though you can't see me. And this is how it works. They give you information, then they give you something that contradicts that information they gave you recently, and then they give you an instruction or a rule to follow. Now, this instruction or rule can be against even your best interests, may not even make any sense, and should be questioned and not followed until properly analyzed. And most people, aka sheeple, will just follow the rule. They'll put peer pressure on everybody else to do the same thing. They will follow nonsense instructions and continue to do so until something or some instruction comes along which allows them to stop. We saw this, like, you couldn't have a better example than like the last 5 years. And it was kind of shocking when I lived through it, when you lived through it, and you watch this unfold. But really, I've seen this before, even in ancient texts. The Bible itself uses this very technique to mind control people. Most of the, if not all, I think actually all of these so called holy books do the very same thing. And some people, for some reason, are immune to it. Now, I'm going to put links in the description section below so you have some cool source material to go through. And I'm going to include this big talk I had with, or I used Grok to try to synthesize a lot of this data. And I also had different versions of theories of what humanity would be like if we did not have or suffer from cognitive dissonance. And you'd be shocked at how much better the world would be and how, you know, a lot of so called authority would crumble. It was interesting, Grok's answer to it. So you can read that for yourself or skim through it. It's quite lengthy. It'll be in the description section below. Also, some podcasts if you're, steeped into religion indoctrination, which is now causing all kinds of interesting things to unfold in our world, as we can see, because our world is dominated by a certain type of religion right now. And it has political and national ramifications, and even all these other things we just take for granted, like nations and boundaries that are just totally imaginary. I mean, there's so called natural law, which I think is something you can objectively deduce from, uh, using intellect. And then there's man made laws, which some of them mirror natural law, but that would make them redundant. And then there's nonsensical rules and regulations that these just don't make any sense. Totally just for the purpose of controlling people. Weird things. I found out the other day that in Florida there are several jurisdictions down here, or imaginary places, that have a law against vaping in a public beach, on a public beach. And I was like, I was shocked to find that out. I didn't know that there were such stupid laws. Vaping is not even like smoking. Like, if you've been around people that are vaping, you can't, it's the doesn't bother you. Like you can understand maybe smoke because it can affect other people to some degree. But we used to be fine with it in the 80s and 90s. Everybody used to be around smokers, and we all survived. But today, they even clamp down. This vaping clampdown is quite bizarre. It really does seem like it's just for the sake of control, and of course, they seem to want to not have anybody look at nicotine. I don't want to get sidetracked, but that's for another discussion. But the whole purpose of cognitive dissonance. Consciousness incarnates as humans, and then we get reduced down to this human state. And then while we're here in human form, we're prone to be reincarnated here again because we get addicted to this place, believe it or not. And we get confused and we have amnesia, and we are indoctrinated with this concept of an authority figure, and then we obey nonsensical rules. At least most people do. If you're like me, for some reason, I'm immune, and I can quickly detect when I'm giving, I'm hearing things that don't make sense. And then I pause, and I don't want to instinctively listen to anybody. And I, will not submit to peer pressure either. I don't give a fuck what other people think. So interesting talk on this Grok link. I think you'll find it fascinating. I don't want to keep you too long today. I am going out of town. I'm going to go visit some family up in the Northeast, so I'll be away for the rest of the week. But who knows? I still have my phone with me. I might post something on the fly. And please like and subscribe if you like the video, and leave comments. And don't forget to check out my website, overwatchproject.com. Take it easy now.